Okay, hello everyone. So, yeah, I will be testing my voice to just get used to my voice. Okay, so we have a presentation. Hello, thanks for being here. I'm Archil. I'm the Senior Software Engineering Manager and Delivery Manager at EPAM, and I'm the Head of .NET at EPAM Georgia. Today we will be talking about an interesting subject of Georgia being on the software engineering map of the world. I'm going to guide you through the process that I went in, and to understand those things better, I'm going to just back up a bit when I was a bit younger, right? So, after I just finished the university, I started working for a couple of the great companies, and at the same time, I was reading some books, watching some video materials. I mean, I was in love with the job. I was a software engineer, and I loved what I did. But the interesting thing here is that just whatever they were trying to tell me in the books, in the videos, that this is good, this is how it's going to be, it was almost never in reality. So I don't mean to be offensive. Of course, they were some great companies that I worked for, and I learned a lot from them. But it always felt that something was missing. I'm sure many of you just understand what I'm talking about right now. Generally, we could do this in three categories, right? It was engineering processes that were not what I was reading. Some of the missing roles, right? We were trying to do the project, but like one of the most important roles, for example, project manager was missing and someone was doing the job, but not fully. Something along these lines. And like customer communication that could have been improved. I always felt that there was some things to improve. But I was young, and I didn't have the motivation, or you could say I didn't have the guts to change everything or anything. So what I did, I used to get angry, right? Why I don't see how things should be. But a couple of years later, so opportunity presented itself, and I did not back down. I decided to try. So what happened is that, so we were about to leave the current job. By we, I mean there were a couple of people, my friends that worked together. Company changed its primary direction. They were more focused on hardware. We were software engineers, so our roles were not required anymore. So instead of going out and just searching for another job, we decided to stay and create something new together and work on that. Interesting thing here, we had no planning. We had no funds. Actually, we had zero funds. We really didn't have any money. And like we just, at the small planning that we did, it meant that we will have the less income in the future. But the important thing here is that we believe that we were the right people for the job, to make an impact, to make a change, to make something, to create something new. And I mean, we were leaving the comfort zone. And I remember that when I go and check some, for example, like I do my research to check how to correctly start a startup, right? There's a huge list of things you could do. We couldn't do those things, because we had immediate things at hand. In a couple of months, we will be left without jobs. So we just took couple of support projects, couple of computers from the previous company, and we moved to Givi's new boat apartment. Givi is right now the head of EPAM Georgia, and it's like the story is like big companies starting in garage, because in reality, let me be honest with you, at that time Givi's apartment looked like a garage. So first days, and okay, we went away. We just brought those computers there, and we started. Our thought process went in two directions. So what do we really want to change? And the most important thing that we wanted to change and have an impact was to gain more trust for local software engineering companies. So like, it was about 10 years ago. Back then, big customers on Georgian market used to go outside of Georgia to work with foreign software engineering companies. There was no trust and no supply for local software engineering companies. So that was our primary goal. That's what we wanted to do. And we really were dreamers. We really wanted to implement the best practices. We wanted to provide better service of our customers, and we were like super full with this idea. But obviously, a couple of years later, We achieved some goals, but I mean, when I present this slide, I always have a feeling like this is not the primary topic of my conversation, so I will jump fast. We worked after a couple of years, we had already worked with all the top Georgian customers. We engaged in different delivery models, such as staff augmentation, for example, and that was one of our primary goals for Ondio, and we created the employer brand. But don't get me wrong, this was not just like the greatest and peaceful times of our lives. We fought, we had difference of ideas, we had just not understanding, we had doubts between each other, because I believe that if you want to create something meaningful, it takes time, it takes effort, and it's not a smooth road. But in the end, we considered that, yeah, we did what we did, and we wanted to move further. So, yeah, we were in a place where we thought that we achieved our primary goal, and we wanted to move further. So what was next? Many days of thinking. What we did, we come up with this. We wanted to contribute to Georgia as a country on the world software engineering world. And it was very ambitious, right? So we understood that it was ambitious, but I mean, that's what we wanted to do. We didn't want to grow and grow with slow paces. We wanted to do something meaningful and important. And what does this mean is that we wanted our international customers to know and to want to work with Georgian people, and for Georgian people to have capacity to work and deliver to our international customers. And we were just moving into that direction, and then we met EPAM. And I mean, EPAM, during our couple of years, we always knew about EPAM. We aspired of we knew who these people were. We wanted to get close to them, but obviously it was something too distant and kind of a dream, right? They were too distant. And we found ourselves that we were sitting at the table with them and discussing many things. And we discovered a couple of interesting things that we didn't know that would be possible. First of all, it was a cultural fit, right? When we talked to the company that back at the time was 40 to 50,000 people, we discovered that main values kind of were the same, and it was focused on people. Given that EPAM Georgia director guy always used to say that Ondio was main asset of Ondio was the people, and we discovered that 40,000 people organization thought the same, and additionally we found out that sometimes EPAM was also in a startup mode, because everything around us in technologies changes very fast, and even EPAM had to be on startup mode. So we got together, and the next chapter in my life began. And this is an important part, because I was leaving the comfort zone once again, personally, because I joined a new company. And the obvious question was that I didn't know how things were done internally, right? So imagine a situation where you are the founder of the company, you know everyone and everything, how it's done, and you join people that you trust, you understand what this company represents, but you still don't know how it's done, who to talk to, and stuff like that. So, and the important part is that I went back to interviews, because at EPAM, when you start working on the projects, you pass a couple of interviews and so on. This was early entry stage, and super pleasing experience, I might say, because yeah, I was leaving the comfort zone once again, and I liked it at the time already. The skill that I chose for myself was delivery management, and delivery management is for guys like me that did some software engineering and technical stuff. Maybe we're good at it, maybe we're bad at it, I don't know. Then they also like the people management, talking to customers. They don't want to stay on coding side forever, and they want to just move further too. So that's the delivery management. I chose for myself delivery management, then I started working on the project and started delivering, and then after 2 or 3 months, I was back to our original goal, right? our idea didn't go anywhere. Our dream was still there. We wanted to contribute to Georgia being on a software engineering map. So I discovered that, like, moving forward after 2 years, I discovered that there is a thing called reputation of a country on the software engineering map. I came up with this term by myself, so like this is not something you find, it's just my idea of how to explain this. And let me tell you a story. Super short story, I was sitting with one of the software engineering managers, so with our customers. They wanted to ramp up people of 50 or 60 person team in the duration of 3 months, and they just told me something like that. The manager said, I like working with Ukrainian people, so let's ramp up that team in Ukraine. And for him, this was a very obvious thing, like general, the things that he used to say every day. But I was surprised because the man directed his attention to the country. He didn't see no CV of people, no like technological profile, nothing. The first thing he chose was like, I like working with Ukrainians, let's ramp up the team in Ukraine. And I understood that there are some things that contribute for the managers, from our customers to know with which country or with people from which country they want to work with. And there are a couple of things that contribute to that. First of all, and most important, I guess, is owning a delivery versus being a part of delivery. By my understanding, owning the delivery means that you take the full project, you want to call it, full feature, from analyzing phase to delivery phase, continuing with the support phase, and you do everything. Where country is able to ramp up people, maybe like 100 people at the same time, and deliver the full product. Versus 3 or 4 superstars maybe, contributing to the project which is owned by someone else, different location. Having the full team with full skill set is important because collocated teams mean that these people have better communication. And it means that our customers are able to come and visit the full team at the same time. They are able to talk to everyone, right? I mean, if you have 3 persons in Georgia and 60 people in Poland, it's easier for 60 people to stay there and for us Georgians to visit that, right? So this is an important thing for our customers. And number of people. I already mentioned that, but specifically for staff augmentation delivery models where your team is joined with customer teams, number of people is important. Because even if you have the 500-person company like software engineers, our customers, if they want to have 400 people working on their project, you almost have nobody else left. And your whole company is working for a single customer. If anything goes wrong, okay, you're done. Risk is too high. And our customers understand that risk too. That's why number of people in this case is important. Not only the number, the technical skills coverage is also important. As I said, we need to own the delivery. To own the delivery, you should have, almost every technical skill representative in your team, or else you will be helping someone else. And the last part is still, again, about number of people. Couple of stars from the country don't make that much of a difference like in representing and reputation of a country. Because we've been working, my friends from university have been working for Google for 15 years. Do you think that Google right now just wants to ramp up to 100-person team in Georgia? So I will leave that question to you, but I think you get the point what I'm trying to say. And yeah, what can we do better? So thanks, like previous presentation was also the same, and nothing beats communication, and you guys sitting here, did we just spend 15 minutes for you to tell us the same thing that everyone does? Yes, because what I discovered in my life is that even when people understand that communication is important, they sit down, they talk, but they don't touch the subjects that actually matter for them. They decide to not say things out loud that disturb, that they want to discuss. So I like daily basis, I see that communication can be improved and that could solve problems around. I would say that we will need to involve customers. That's why what I discovered, and I liked it a lot. With our couple of the customers, I had an interesting discussions like customers being interested in daily lives, customers being human. I mean, managers from customer side telling our people that, guys, I have to take my child to the school, and sorry, I cannot make it to the meeting. Usual human things that every one of us experiences, customers experience too. What a surprise. But I found out that people that work with customers, if they have the same issues, they are like closed, they don't want to express themselves, and they don't want to say something to the customers because, yeah, they think that customers are not human. So, yeah, I would say that we should involve customers. And soft skills focus. What I saw is that almost every problem in communication, every problem in delivery that I faced was based on soft skills rather than hard skills. In international, like working with these customers, I discovered that if there is a question of hard skills, what do? Okay, just pick up some learning materials, and in 1 week you are done. I mean, more or less, you can read and you can have a basic understanding of the technology. Basic. I'm not talking about everything, right? But like basic understanding. Focus on soft skills is much harder because it's much harder to learn some soft skill. You cannot just read a book and get better at it. You need to understand, and you have to have the correct mindset that you are able and you to want to express yourselves. My main takeaways from this, from my role that I've taken. Invest in education. You remember that back on my first slide, I said that I used to get angry at everything. And 7 years later, I was attending the organizational change management training. And the funny thing is back in the day, as a manager, when I tried to implement some things, people would not catch up, they would not take any initiatives, and I would get angry. Because I was a technical guy, I was not an experienced manager. And for example, taking the organizational change management training, and the entry line is that, okay, nobody is going to get involved in your change ideas. Here is how to solve that. Everything that made me angry seems like is a very reality. Everyone knows about it, and if I had learned, if I had known that, I wouldn't get angry. I mean, I would make some change. And you are part of the team either way. That's what I'm trying to say. So whatever you do, if you work for international customer, you represent Georgia. Either you like it or not, from Georgian people, I mean. You represent Georgia. And what I discovered from this process is that not everybody needs to be software engineer, right? Today, technology is very important. Everybody invests in educating themselves, becoming software engineers. But as I said, we need people of all skills, and that's important. If you don't really like being a software engineer, you can check out, for example, being an automation QA or business analyst, because that's a very important skill that people often don't focus on. In conclusion, this is a continuous process, right? Right now, my feeling is that Georgia, in a software engineering world, we just scratched the surface. We have some inputs, we have the small path laid before us, but we need to continue. And I mean, everyone should be involved, and everyone is involved. Your contribution makes a difference. Whether you are focused on that, whether you understand that or not, your contribution makes a difference. And we have the potential to be in the top, but obviously we need to work on that to just show our full potential. Thank you.